So today we went to a flea and antique market down in Georgia. I had to do voiceover for this one because they had music playing, and I didn't want to get a strike against my channel. But anyway, walking around, I fought this double dragon plug and play, which I eventually picked up. It was ended up being $15. I've seen it on other channels and thought it looked kind of cool, so I decided to pick it up. So this I thought was like a CD or music or something like that for the soundtrack, but I looked on the back and it's an actual game for the PC. Thought that was interesting. This mug was nice. It was an Intellivision mug. Almost picked that one up because it looks so stinking cool. Always like the outlines of the inside of a game system. Just looks neat. I saw this Steve Urkel, and in the box is kind of jacked up, but for $35, I was tempted. Although the box did steer me away from getting it. I remember watching Family Matters all the time, and Urkel was just the bomb. And then when he became Stevan or something like that, it was just hilarious, man. I need one of those machines that turns me into like the coolest guy on the block. His little pull string, it was messed up. He talked too quick. So for $35, I decided to pass. Then I saw the Space Jam shampoo bottle with a Taz head on top. Man, I just thought that was so cool, but I've never really been into, buying shampoo bottles. They had this Mickey Mouse bank, it looked like. That was kind of cool. And there was a lot of Mickey Mouse items at this flea market, like this telephone here. That was tempting too. I mean, $30 for a Mickey Mouse phone. But man, I'm running out of space. I don't know where I'm going to put this stuff at. So I decided to pass on that one too. But it was cool to see. Came across these little Intellivision, little tiger looking deals. So I decided to pass on those. I was walking around and was like, what the? They got one of those Hot Wheel carrying cases with a roller. You had to be like the kid, man. Like the famous kid, the popular kid on the block with that. You were the Hot Wheels king. And I was looking around a little bit more, and I saw this cool little camera, man. I liked it in the box. Although all the boxes seem to be ripped the heck up in this place. Oh, and Darth Maul pillows. I should have got those. Those would have looked cool in the game room. This dresser, man, had the best paintings I've ever seen on it. And look at that thing. It was $7.50. I wasn't going to pick it up, but it looked cool. Somebody destroyed this Taz by drilling a hole in it. There's a Taz cup, You could have drunk out of it, I guess, but not anymore. I think it ended up being like, what, $5? No, $10. There we go. And somebody stole this thing right next to the Taz. It was, it said Library of Congress here. It's $10. Pretty sure, shouldn't that be in the Library of Congress? I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works, but I thought this thing was pretty cool too. Do you guys remember these California raisins? I still have like 10 of these things. My grandmother used to pick them up, and I forgot that these things came from Hardee's. For $3, I should have grabbed them, but I didn't for some dumb reason. Anyway, I really like those things. They remind me of my grandmother. She'd always pick them up for us. And like I said, I still have like 4 or 5 of them sitting around upstairs in my game room. And the Rosie O'Donnell doll, that was interesting. A couple of big boys. Some people like that. There's none of those down here in the South. And somebody 3D printed this dude, and it looked really cool. The Deadpool there. I can't 3D print stuff that looks that good. I've tried. Old comic. I didn't pick it up, but somebody might want that for $20. Not me. I'm gonna put it back here. I saw this lightsaber, the Qui-Gon Jinn lightsaber. I actually I have this in the box already, but thought it was neat for the price. I passed, but cool item. Left it for somebody else to pick up. So I was walking around and I came across these Pokemon cards. That's all the big rage now. I know like hardly anything about these, so if you guys see something in here and thought, dang it, you should have picked those up, let me know in the comments. But I don't know anything about these. I mean, I used to play Pokemon on the original Game Boy back in the day, but just the original ones. I didn't play anything past that. I used to watch the cartoon series and stuff too, so never got into the cards though. Should have. Would have been a millionaire by now with a couple of Charizard cards apparently. But yeah, it was neat. It was neat to see him. Brought back some memories. I looked over here, saw a bunch of comics. I have comics. I've not really been picking them up lately. Although if I see anything like Age of Apocalypse, Weapon X, I'll get that. I remember those McDonald's cards from McDonald's when I was a kid. I wasn't really big into football. And I was looking through this bucket of toys, and I saw a Mario in there. I was like, oh wow, look at Mario. But I should have picked it up. I didn't. I was kind of under a time crunch. It was $5. I don't know if he was worth that. He would have looked cool either way in the game room. So ran into these Star Wars toys from Kmart of all places. I used to work at Kmart back in the day, and seeing these was it was a really good deal actually. It said $5 on the Kmart tag, and I believe it was $5 there. This guy, or Leia, I think she was a little bit more, and Luke was too. There was a couple of different versions of Luke, and $7 isn't bad. It came with a little film slice from the movie. It's kind of cool. That one, I believe, was a little bit more. I wasn't willing to pay that, and there was just really cool. It was $10. Saw this Gears of War 2 tank. Looked it up on eBay. It's selling for maybe $30-$40. It was $19 here. Pretty cool. I played the first Gears of War. Didn't play the second one. Never really got into the series. I don't know why. More of a Halo guy, I guess, than Gears of War. Not dissing Gears of War at all. A really good game. And I need to play the other ones. But decided to pass on that. It was a good deal, but I just didn't need it. There's a bunch of, movies and randomness at this flea market deal. But there was a comic book I'll get to here in a minute that I thought was kind of a neat name. Let's see, where is it? Not that one. There it is. Dynamite Joe, because, I'm Joe. So anyway, special edition one looks like there. They had a couple of other ones. Should have picked those up, actually, because I don't mind putting a couple of comics in the stack. So rounded the corner and saw this Star Wars in concert poster for $20. Laying on the floor. Had to pick it up. It's lenticular, so you can move it and it moves. It was really cool. I had never heard of Star Wars in concert, and just look at this thing, man. It's really neat. And they sell for that on eBay, so it's not a profit thing. It would just be a thing to hang up in the game room. But Harrison Ford, look at that dude. He's like a baby there. Anyway, decided to pass on it, but it was a really cool item to run across. So saw this Star Trek, the original picture film cells. I thought that was pretty stinking cool. They had it for $30. It was normally like $80. I should have looked it up. I didn't, but I thought that was cool as heck. I've never seen film cells that thick, that professional looking. I didn't really like that first movie, but the other ones were pretty darn good. I actually saw some games. Oddworld, Munch, Odyssey, $10. This was like the $10 booth. It seemed like the Wolverine game, that was really cool. I don't think I had that one, and so I decided to pass on it. Got this Terminator game already, so I put that one back. But this one I thought was cool. I should have got it. I'm kicking myself, but like I said before, I was running out of time. WWF Raw. That was like the series that I watched as a kid. That was probably some of the best wrestling ever. Stone Cold Steve Austin, just all the great wrestlers were in that period. I mean, there's all periods they have great wrestlers, but that was just my favorite. The disc was a little messy, so I decided to pass. Picard, that's a good show if you haven't seen it. And these were, really cool laser discs. These were, the $10 booth here. So I didn't get it. I don't have a laser disc player, but they're just cool to run across. And oh yeah, The Predator, one of the best movies ever. I think it was the first movie I watched that it made me feel sick. How just gory it was as a kid. This booth was very interesting. I picked up a couple of cheap items from this booth, you'll see. But in here, there's a ton of cool stuff. Like I kind of panned across it a little quick, but they had a Pillsbury Doughboy telephone over there. I didn't notice it until I was editing this video. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I see that? And they got this Cat in a Hat telephone. There's a lot of unique phones at this flea market. Oh, and Harry, the Hendersons, that was a good show. Movie, I mean. And this booth, they had the Iron Man hand. I would have picked that up, but it didn't work, and maybe it just needed batteries. But you just insert your hand here, and then you can go around blowing up stuff. It's kind of neat. You got to turn on the power and blast. Boom. There there you go. So they had this Turbo Man in the box, but when I first looked at it, I thought it was old, but I saw a little Funko Pop while I was editing logo on there, so I realized a good thing I didn't pick it up, I guess. They had the Hulk and just a bunch of in-box wrestlers and action figures and stuff like that. I'm not much into buying action figures for wrestling. Maybe if I ran across a couple of Turtles or something. They had loose ones here in the back, a couple of Mortal Kombat guys. They had the Wolverine with the bone claws. I thought that was new, but I think that's a little newer of an action figure. So, as you can tell, I passed on a bunch of stuff here. I just wasn't feeling some of the things that I saw. The prices were just a little much for what I wanted to pay. The cool one here was the Marty McFly you know, in his nuclear suit. And I don't know why there was like a, you know, an alien xenomorph in the bag with him. Maybe the person selling it didn't know that that was a cross promotional thing, or maybe that is a cross thing, and I don't know about it, but I just thought it was kind of funny it was in the same bag. I did decide to pick up this dollar Iron Man, like, Halloween bucket, I guess. It's cool because the bottom will open up and you can dump all your candy out at the end after all your fun trick-or-treating. So I walked over to this next booth, and I noticed that there was these Mr. Potato Heads. And there was a huge one in the back. Had a bunch of, you know, see-through and a bunch of, I guess, parts for them in there. It's kind of neat. I ended up picking up that Iron Man 3 cup, too, with my Iron Man helmet. Both were $1, you know, picking up some cheap stuff, but I thought maybe they went together, you know, because it kind of was a perfect fit for that cup to sit in his head, you know, his head right there. So, I don't know. Maybe it was meant to be. Saw this Enterprise model kit. You know, 25 bucks. That's cool. I'm not into modeling kits, but it looks neat. Do you guys remember these, man? When I was a kid, that's how you made phone calls. Rotary phone. I don't know what the buttons were for, though. I'd never seen that. It's like, what is it, the Batman phone, you know? 45 bucks. If that thing was 20 bucks, I would have probably brought it home. I don't know. I like the ice cream scoop. Don't judge me. There is a little pinball. I used to love these old, like, simple games. I thought this cooler was cool, man. No pun intended. Coca-Cola cooler. It was, I don't even know how much it was there, but I passed on it, but it was neat. And these little Viewmasters, my kids just got one, a newer one, and they, you know, we got VR and all this other stuff, and my kids play with that the most. Little Snow White guy here, bashful. Still had the Walmart sticker on it. You know, I got two kids that love Disney movies, and that would have been cool to get. But I passed on that also. Might have to just call this the past episode. I passed on everything. This booth was jam-packed with a ton of action figures. They had buckets on the ground full of stuff. I looked through most of that. Didn't see anything amazing to pick up, but it was, you know, it was decent prices. Like Obi-Wan action figure. Just a ton of stuff. You could dig in there for a long time. Saw the Red Ranger, but, you know, he looked a little goofy. His legs were, I don't know what that is. They were just not right, so I put him back. I thought these Star Wars guys up at the top were pretty cool looking. It's like $35 for that one. I considered it. He had the weapon and everything with him. Bunch of Hot Wheels toys. Those are, you know, Atari flashbacks. They're everywhere, man. I have one. I've never even taken it out of the box. This person was really into, oh yeah, they had Sequest, but they had a lot of Star Trek. Every Star Trek thing you can imagine there. Hot Wheels everywhere. I don't know why. Somebody's collecting that stuff, but there's too many of them, in my opinion. Just everywhere. So I came around the corner and I saw this Qui-Gon Jinn stand up freaking episode 1. You know, statue, has a lightsaber. He's in a stance, ready to fight, and it was $32. You know, again, is something that I'm looking back at now, and I'm like, yeah, that one I probably should have got. I might have to go back and pick that up if it's there again, maybe in another video. Saw this Batmobile here from the movies. It looked like an RC car, maybe? It's $25. It's kind of neat, you know? Maybe it wasn't an RC car. I don't know, but it was neat. Again, running out of shelf space. Got to figure out what to do. Probably need to do whatnot like most of the other YouTubers are doing and get rid of some of my stuff. There was a couple other cool things on the shelf. Oh, yeah, this 100th edition Batman statue. Thought that was cool. And so this section of the store, I should have started over here. There was just tons of stuff from like when I was a kid. They had the Power Rangers here. Sorry about the bad camera work, but I was really excited when I saw those Power Rangers. Like, oh man, maybe I should pick that up. You know, they had the Yellow Ranger. That was more of my sister's favorite Ranger. If they would have had like the red or the green Ranger or something like that, would have picked it up for sure. Huge dinosaur toy on the floor. My buddy Mike picked that up for his kid at a thrift store near me. Again, Hot Wheels everywhere. Not sure what's up with that. Maybe somebody could explain it to me. Had a bunch of Star Wars stuff over here. You know, I'm not sure about these kind of deformed looking Star Wars guys, so I stayed away from them. Ton of stuff in these shelves, so it's kind of getting overwhelmed. There's so many things here, you know, all these box deals, the Batman in the box. I mean, just everything you could think of. Oh yeah, and the Xena. I don't know if you guys ever watched Xena. I used to watch that all the time. I don't know why my mom let me watch that. And I've ran across this Ninja Turtle stuff, you know, like a Halloween costume, like Raphael with size, dude. That's really cool. And then I saw like this turtle van. I don't know if it's old or new, and the price tag was like stuck in the door. Trying to peel it out there with one hand while I'm filming. It was $20. That one, I should have picked that one up. Like that one was cool. It didn't look like an old one to me, so I didn't have a personal attachment. And it said "Beware" on the top, and I didn't really even see anything that indicated, besides what the guy wrote on the tag, that it was a Ninja Turtle item. So, I don't know. Maybe it was a good idea that I didn't pick it up. I did see this Ninja Turtle hat, and if it was not for a kid, I would have picked that Joker up and worn it like a boss. That was a cool hat. That was a very cool hat. Again, more Pokemon cards. Didn't know anything about them, so cut to the next scene. This little booth had some interesting stuff. They had a Masters of the Universe Grayskull Castle in the box. He wanted quite a bit for it, $150. And you'll see in a minute here, behind it, it has the shipping box that it came in. So I thought that was neat, But for $150, I'm not into, Masters of the Universe. I never watched it when I was a kid. I just, it's from the era that I watched stuff when I was a kid, but I just never got into it. Never watched it. So unfortunately, had to pass on that one. Cool to see, though. Loved the artwork. So I kept looking around. There's a couple other things, some Star Wars stuff, the Gauntlet, and the Spider-Man here, which I thought was kind of neat. At first, I thought this was like the X-Men jet, but I got excited and I was like, oh wait, no, it's not the X-Men jet, unfortunately. And then up here, I see a 7-Up telephone. It's like, what the? And it was, I believe it was $35. I didn't pick that up, and I regret that. I need to go back and get that, because I really like playing the 7-Up spot game on the, I believe it was the Sega Genesis. Really fun game if you haven't played it before. There was just too much stuff, and there was a couple other people looking around. I didn't want to go film in their face, so I decided to keep looking, in another area. But the guy had like a Mr. Clean toy in his basket. Wow, guys, that was a great flea market.
slash thrift store. I had never actually been to one before like that. It was cool because, you know, I watch Retro Rick and he's always going to places like that. So when I walked in the door, I was like, man, this is like being in a Retro Rick video or something. So, you know, I had to kind of rush through there. So I didn't get to pick up everything I wanted, like I mentioned, probably mentioned in the video. Is that like the 7-Up spot phone? I should have picked that up, man. Maybe one day when I go back. This was down in Georgia and I'm up in South Carolina. Maybe one day when I go back, I'll pick that up. I picked up a couple of things, 3 things, nothing really huge. So I'm going to start and show you some of those. So I just thought this was neat. I got an Iron Man 3 movie cup. This was $1 at one of the little booths that was there. And the reason I picked this up is because I thought, and I'll explain this, I thought it went with this other thing I picked up. This right here, an Iron Man, you know, helmet. I thought this looked cool enough to like display in the game room, just set it somewhere. I thought at first it was a popcorn holder, and the cup fit in the top of it so well, I thought maybe it was like a movie promotional thing, you know, combo, you know, you get popcorn and a drink. But I was wrong. The reason I know that is because the handle here says Happy Halloween over the top. So that's not, it's not a popcorn holder. I guess you could put popcorn in here if you wanted. But the cool thing is you fill this up with candy if you were a kid, and then he comes apart and dump out all your candy all over the floor and eat it. That's what you do as a kid. And as an adult, if you went trick-or-treating, I bet you would do that too. So I thought this was cool though by itself. So this cup was $1. This was $1. I'm gonna put that back up, you know, on the shelf somewhere. Probably look cool sitting there. And so the last thing I picked up was the Double Dragon plug and play game. So this thing looked pretty cool. I've seen it on other, you know, YouTube channels and stuff, people picking them up. But it, you know, it's new in the box. Let's see, how much did I get it for? I got it for $15. Just looking at my receipt down there. 15 bucks for this? I don't think that's a bad deal, especially just as a display piece. Double Dragon, can't beat that, you know? Who remembers playing that back in the arcades? Or on the old Master System and stuff like that. Anyway, I had a ball at that flea market, and I will probably go back at some point. But thank you for watching this video. Let me know how I can improve. I'm newer to YouTube, so I need all the help I can get. And I appreciate your views. Please, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And I'll check you out next time. Bye.